UFC Vegas 97. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Looking forward to talking about each of the matchups on this card after seeing the fighters on the scales. So make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on and make sure you share the video too. And also note it, I'm live for the whole card. 4 p.m. Eastern time, Saturday. Fight Companion going down for UFC Vegas 97. I can't wait for it. Make sure you tune into it. And let's get into the fights. Starting the card off, we have Ramaska versus Nathan Fletcher. Earlier in the week, I picked Nathan Fletcher. I've been riding with the side of Fletcher, and I picked them initially when they were first booked for Vegas 96 because of an obvious grappling skill set advantage. Now, he had a staph infection that got him out of that fight. He's had 2 weeks to heal up and recover, and we'll look at how the infection is healed because you can see a little leftover marking on the official weigh-in photos. I think that if he gets this fight to the ground, he's going to shine. Now, if he gets caught up into a war in kickboxing with Ramaska, he definitely could be in trouble. Fletcher's a weird one for me. I am picking him, but I wouldn't go out and throw money at him. And Ramaska, I'm in the same spot. Fun guy, good striker, but hittable too, and not great on the floor. I'm going with Nathan Fletcher to win, but we got to check out the scales. Tell me, am I being an asshole? Or does Nathan Fletcher look like a bum? Like he looks like an average schmuck that gets released from the UFC, disappears into, the abyss of ex-UFC fighters. I hope I'm wrong, Nathan Fletcher. And if you see this, I hope this motivates you to do something memorable. Because right now, he's looking like Joe Solecki's little brother, and I'm not seeing much else. Now, the skill set looks okay, but I'm not jumping up and down about it. He got bodied by Ofli on the damn Ultimate Fighter, regardless of the fucking leg break. And now I got Ramaska looking to be in the best fucking shape of his career. He's shredded to the gills. Holy shit. The fact that Ramaska came in so fit is worrisome, especially with, you see the 2 little bumps on the arm? You see that left arm? Look at him. That's a recovering staph infection that Nathan Fletcher was dealing with. It could definitely lead him to slowing down in this fight. It could definitely lead him to feeling weak. And against a guy like Ramaska, who's kind of relentless, this could be a recipe for disaster. I'm just asking myself, do I really want to pick flip on a low-tier fight between guys in the first fight of the night that are completely unproven? I'll say no. I'll still stick with Nathan Fletcher because the tape told me Fletcher's going to out-grapple him when this fight was initially booked. Now, some, issues / external factors could end up changing the result. And maybe Fletcher is undersized for 145 like a lot of people are saying. But I'm not going to stray away from the prediction. I think he's going to put Ramaska on his back. I'm not that impressed with Ramaska. He was in a fun war with Bexap, but he also got dropped. He's a bit hittable too. And I do think he's the worst grappler and wrestler of the two. In a fight that Nathan Fletcher wants on the ground, I feel like he's probably going to have his way. So give me Nathan Fletcher to find a way to get a win. Minus 130 for Fletcher, plus 110 for Ramaska. If I'm pick flipping, it's just because I'm dog chasing, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick with Fletcher. Over 1.5 at minus 160, probably. Fletcher is potentially live for a win by submission, but I just got worries about where his health is at right now with the staff. Plus 145 for sub. Fletcher by decision, all the way up at plus 400. Holy shit. Damn. Odds-wise, it would be assumed that Fletcher will get this thing done by a submission rather early. He's given up a lot of height. You can see when they go face-to-face, he's a lot shorter. But he's definitely the better grappler of the two. He trains with Paddy Pimblett. I think I have a bias towards him because Paddy Pimblett is his teammate. So I'm going with Nathan Fletcher to find a way. I'm not writing him off, even though he had that staph infection. I'll stay with the initial prediction. Next fight on the card, Andrade Petroski versus Dylan Budka. I've been picking Andrade Petroski all week, and Dylan Budka looked like he was damn near death at the weigh-ins. We'll bring up the pictures in a moment. Holy hell. He missed weight. He came in at 188.5, so 2.5 pounds over the middleweight limit. I've always said it since the damn, fight got announced. I guess so always is maybe a stretch of the word, but since the full card breakdown, I've said Petroski is a better version of what Dylan Budka is trying to be. Budka is a smothering wrestler who lacks any other skills. He'll hold you against the cage, and maybe if your takedown defense isn't that caliber, he'll take you down and then hold you down. That's not the case. Petroski's better at jiu-jitsu. I think he matches and exceeds the wrestling, and he's got better hands too. And on top of that, he didn't look like he was knocking on death's doorstep at the damn weigh-ins. So let's look at Dylan Budka. If you haven't seen the video of it, you should definitely look it up. I'm sure you've seen it on Twitter. Petroski looks like a jack psycho. He looks insane. He looks like he'll, catch you and beat you down. I don't know, man. He kind of looks like a little bit of like a psychotic lumberjack. That's the vibe I get from Petroski. The Russian fucking experiment. And then Dylan Budka, I mean, he looks like shit. Dylan Budka gives very stoner vibes. Dylan Budka looked bad on the scale, man. His body language, he was shaking. He's like I'm telling you, he was on death's doorstep. He cuts another pound, he might not wake up. You know what I'm saying? So thankfully, the doctor said no more. He posted, sorry for missing weight. I would have cut more. The doctor said no. Thank God they did. Because Budka would have weight cut himself to death. There's the face-off. I mean, he looked okay at the face-off. He looked alive. But I think that we're going to see André Petroski whoop Dylan Budka's ass. I'm going with André Petroski. Confident call. I think he's live for a finish too. I don't think Budka has a chance in hell in this fight. Let me zoom in here. André Petroski, 3-1 favorite. He deserves it. Budka plus 255. Petroski's got a good UFC record. What is he, 6-2 in the UFC? He's game. He's better than a Budka by a long shot. Budka's 0-1. This should be a squash match. Submission win for Petroski in round number 3, I was saying. But plus 250 for sub. And then Petroski in round 3, if he does get a finish, plus 1,000. I could see Dylan Budka completely gassing out in that second or third round. His gas tank's already questionable. And now, as bad as this weight cut was, I feel like he might be dead man walking come, the 6-minute mark of the fight, let alone even the third round. So I'm going with André Petroski. I think he gets a finish here. I think he stops Budka a little bit later. It's not crazy if Budka survives, though, because Petroski, decision over Frem last time, and he didn't look for the kill at all. I think that against Budka, though, Budka will kind of like hand him the finish because Budka's going to be so gassed. So André Petroski, I'm calling a submission, picking him confidently. Good parlay piece. Next fight on the card, Jacqueline Amorim versus Vanessa Demopoulos. I've been going with Jacqueline Amorim all week. I feel like D-Mop is so overrated. I don't know how she's 4-1 in the last 5. I don't fucking know. I remember this fight here. I said, I thought she lost to Emily Ducote. This fight here, Marotte could have got it. Fight here, she loses, so she could have been, 3 down. Okay, she wins Oliveira. Oliveira sucks. And then Jin Yu Frey, she lost that fight too. So 1-4 in the last 5 could be what we're looking at if decisions flip the other way, which is kind of crazy to think about, right? Holy shit. I feel like Jacqueline Amorim, she's going to be a bit too skillful with the grappling and the takedown potential and threat. We've seen Demopoulos taken down before. It's not like she has this uncrackable takedown defense. I think Jacqueline Amorim is going to get this fight to the floor, body up Demopoulos a bit, and I do think she's going to shoot for a submission. I'm going to pick a submission, but it wouldn't be crazy if Jacqueline Amorim gets a decision over Vanessa Demopoulos. Now, I know Amorim got fraud checked in the debut with Sam Hughes. Granted, she almost got a sub in the first round. She's on a 2-fight win streak now, and I think she's ready for this Vanessa Demopoulos test, and I expect her to pass. So I'm going Jacqueline Amorim. She should get the W. I don't see her selling in this fight here. Looking at the scales, we got Vanessa Demopoulos. All right, she looks okay. She's in shape. Kind of looks like the Wicked Witch of the fucking West. And then Jacqueline Amorim, she looks ready to go. I don't know, a little bit of a goofy smile on her. And then there's the face-off. Yeah, Amorim's got this fight. Demopoulos is due for a loss, yo. Going 5-1 in the last fucking 6 for Demopoulos is going to be crazy. I think she takes an L here. Amorim's skill set is good. She's too well-versed. She's got a big reach advantage. She's going to beat Vanessa Demopoulos and I'm almost certain of it. Now, as far as the odds, they suck. Minus 300. Fat favorite, Jacqueline Amorim. Vanessa Demopoulos, plus 250. It's fine. I'm going with the fat favorite. So the over is minus 180 because most of these women's fights, have a high probability of going over, especially at 115. Win by submission. Let's see here. What can I concoct? Submission win, plus 325. It wouldn't blow my mind if Amorim can find an armbar in Vanessa Demopoulos. Amorim's got really long limbs. She's the taller girl by a tad, but look at the arm length difference. She's got longer legs too. And her jiu-jitsu game is solid. And I think she's going to be able to take out Vanessa Demopoulos. So I'm going with Jacqueline Amorim. I think she's live to get a win by submission. Remember this, though. Remember, Vanessa Demopoulos never submitted before. So, I get the worry if you're going for the prop. It's not maybe a great investment. But I'm telling you, I'm picking it. And Amorim should definitely win the fight. So Jacqueline Amorim, she's going to pass the Vanessa Demopoulos test. She ain't getting double fraud checked. No fucking way. Next fight on the card, we have Gabriel Santos versus Yizha. This fight gets me very excited. I'm going with Gabriel Santos to take Yizha out, okay? I think Gabriel Santos is going to look good here. I called him the lock this week because he's a special prospect. He has slick striking. He has slick grappling. In his debut, he nearly beat Lerone Murphy. Okay, David Onama knocked him out in his sophomore appearance, but he did win the first round. And Onama is a heavy-handed, freakish specimen, okay? David Onama is built differently. Yizha, pressure wrestling is okay, but he isn't exceptional in any area. He's more going to have to smother you, take you down, beat you up a little. I don't think he's winning a war with Santos. I don't think he's out kickboxing him. I don't think he's out grappling him. Is he going to be able to hold him for 3 rounds? No way. Gabriel Santos, to me, has the makeup of somebody that could be top 15. I think Gabriel Santos, with time, is going to flourish in the UFC. He's lost 2 straight, 2 tough fights. First 2 fights, David Onama and Lerone Murphy. Think about how crazy that is for your first 2 UFC fights. And now you're fighting Yizha, who Ji Yoon Lee got a split decision over. And Hyder Ramil made Ji Yoon Lee look like a fucking child when they fought. Gabriel Santos is going to whoop Yizha's ass. How does he do it? Knockout or submission is live. I do think both are live methods of victory. That's why I've said, if you're on the betting side and you want to prop it, inside distance kind of spoke to me. Let's look at the scales, though. As I'm ranting and raving about my guy, Gabriel Santos. How do they look? Gabriel Santos is chatted up. He's had some time off. Look, he took 1 year and 2 months off. Look at him coming back more like a fucking man. He's got the little goatee. I like what I'm seeing, and he looks shredded out. Santos is good. I'm very excited for Gabriel Santos. Yizha on the other side, he comes in good shape too. He looks okay. Fair point. All right. He looks decent. And then the face-off, they actually went nose-to-nose for a second. It sounds like, nah, we don't need to go nose-to-nose. Respectable face-off. I think Gabriel Santos is going to give Yizha the business. I think Gabriel Santos is going to give him a warm welcome back to the UFC. And he ain't taking no split decision. He's taking heads. It's either a knockout or submission here. Santos thriving and shining. He's a special prospect, guys. As far as the odds, Santos minus 250. Give me the chalky locky. I don't give a fook. And then plus 212 for Yizha. I'm uninterested. Nah, I don't want no Yizha plus 212. You crazy? Santos is going to whoop his ass. The over 1.5. It could end sooner. Look. Inside distance, Santos plus 125, but upwards of plus 165. I do think he wins inside distance. He would be live to find the submission, especially if Yizha is looking to put pressure and grapple. I think he could lock something up. Now, Yizha on the other side was his decision is plus 400. Nah, he ain't surviving the onslaught. Submission win for Santos plus 280 with a knockout at plus 500. It's kind of crazy to see knockout at plus 500 because Santos has 3 KOs. He's got knockout potential. But I see the mentality, though. Submission maybe is more live. I'm picking him to win inside distance. Now, he has been out a while, so there's an argument. Yo, what if he fights safe? That's why the money line is the lock. Props, we're just looking to chase a little plus. But Gabriel Santos to get the win, lock of the week. I'm picking him with confidence. Let's go. Special prospect, and I can't wait for it. Next fight on the card, we have André Lima versus Felipe dos Santos. I'm going with André Lima. I think he can beat Felipe dos Santos. He was way off weight last time. He came in at 130 for the Mitch Raposo fight, but he did it right this time with the fucking Kit Kat in his mouth. He comes in at 125.5, and he looked full of life too at the weigh-ins, which was a big concern for me because if he looked really bad on the scales, maybe I'd be worried about this pick. But I think I'm more confident in it seeing how fit he looked on these damn scales. Now, we are going to look at the scales, but picking Lima because of the Muay Thai skill set, the precision, the grappling defensive capabilities, and I think the better accuracy in striking. I feel like Dos Santos may have more volume, but he's not as clean with it. Now let's look at these two on the scales. Let's check things out. There's the Kit Kat. Look at this fucking savage. He's got the bite bonus, the bite mark tattoo. He's got the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the scope on his chest, and he's got the damn Kit Kat in his mouth. Andre Lima's good, man. Felipe Dos Santos, I don't know, he's trying to look like the fucking Rizzler over here. Cringe, cringe. Felipe Dos Santos does have a little bit of that height advantage. Respectable face-off between the two. Felipe Dos Santos, look at him for a second. You can't see it fully, but when he fully relaxes his face, I'm telling you, bro, he looks like a fucking alien to me. I don't know, something straight out of like Rick and Morty or something like that with the overshapen eyes and forehead. I'm not picking no alien, bro. I'm going Andre Lima. I think Lima's a good prospect. I think Lima's got skills, and I think he's going to show. I know Felipe Dos Santos had a nice debut where he did relatively good against Manel Cop, but that sophomore appearance, he looked like shit against Victor Altamirano, and I don't think he has the wrestling to deal with Andre Lima, so I'm going Lima to win a decision. I'm picking him over Felipe Dos Santos in a really good battle of Brazilian prospects, man. It shows something. Brazil's got some good up-and-comers with these two matching up. Odds for the fight, Andre Lima's the favorite. Of course he is. Minus 162. Dos Santos plus 142. I'm going Andre Lima. The Menace. Andre the fucking Menace Lima. Over 2.5 is minus 225. I'm going to predict we do go over. I expect a calculated fight from both guys. Lima to win by a decision. Plus 100. That's the official pick. Yeah. That's my thoughts. I'm going with Lima to pull through. I see him beating Felipe Dos Santos. Dos Santos has volume for sure, but accuracy is everything, and Lima is cleaner with it. And I think that the lack of a takedown threat from Dos Santos on top of a less clean striking style give him some serious disadvantages here against Andre Lima. So Andre Lima for the win over Felipe Dos Santos. Really dope prospect fight. I'm really excited for that fight. It's going to tell us a lot about both guys. Next fight on the card, we have Isaac Dulgarian versus Brendan Marotte. If there has ever been a squash match in the UFC, if there has ever been a fight that it's tomato can, then the fucking hammer going down, is this matchup. Okay? This fight is simply put a squash match and a half, a setup fight. This is Isaac Dulgarian with a confidence-building matchup. That's what it's supposed to be. Now, could Brendan Marotte somehow knock him out with something crazy? I don't think so. I think Isaac Dulgarian's a good fighter. His grappling skill set is clean. He's got good transition speed on the ground. He's got very good control from the top position. And he is a finish-based grappler. He's not just a lay and pray. I will say, because of the exertion that he puts into control and looking to actually get fighters out of there by advancing position and or ground and pound, he gassed out bad against C-Rod and ended up losing that fight. Granted, it could have been scored a draw, but we won't get into specifics on that fight. That's not what this video is about. I think Isaac Dulgarian still has true talent. Brendan Marotte he's a future journeyman. I hate to shit on Massachusetts own. He's fighting out of fucking New Hampshire, whatever. The whole New England fucking group over there with New England Cartel. He's a tough kid. He's scrappy. He's got some hands on him. He comes out with pressure. But he's not clean enough to deal with Isaac Dulgarian. He's going to lack the defensive abilities in the grappling. He's not going to be able to deal with the physical strength. And he's going to be finished. So I'm going with Isaac Dulgarian to get the finish over Brendan Marotte. I think it's Dulgarian's time. Let's look at the skills. Listen, Brendan Marotte don't look like he's playing around, though. Give credit where it's due. Brendan Marotte looks serious and intense. He does look serious and intense. Isaac Dulgarian, absolute savage mode, though. Come on, man. Come on. Slim Shady, Brendan Marotte trying to go blonde. I'm telling you, man. It's the wrong shade of blonde. That's not the Dan Hooker, Charles Oliveira blonde. That's more the bling bling blonde. And that ain't getting you a win over the fucking Chopper, bro. The West Coast Chopper, the absolute savage. Isaac Dulgarian's going to take it home with grappling dominance. I think he's live for a submission or a knockout. The odds suck. I know it's minus 3,000. Marotte at plus 1,300. Maybe Dulgarian shocks us all and lays in praise for 3 rounds. I don't see it. I think he's more of a violent guy. Under 1.5 is minus 325. I do think it's probably going under. Inside distance win for Dulgarian is minus 1,200. Hallelujah, we found value. Yeah, I'm joking. If you don't know sarcasm, well, I'm kidding. Yeah, that sucks. Dulgarian knockout is minus 190. Sub plus 155. Dulgarian should win inside distance, but it's minus 1,200. He could submit Marotte. That's my worry with picking him by knockout, that he's throwing some ground and pound, and Marotte kind of gives him an arm triangle or something like that, or a rear naked choke. So maybe the sub at plus money, more degenerate, but maybe that's what you're chasing. Either way, Isaac Dulgarian to take home a win over Brendan Marotte. It seems written in the damn stars. It would be one of the craziest upsets ever if Brendan Marotte was able to beat Isaac Dulgarian, man. So we shall find out. The Midwest Chopper. I keep calling him the West Coast Chopper. You know what? Either way, it sounds cool. Isaac Dulgarian for the W. Next fight on the card, our featured prelim of the night. We got Rongzhu versus Chris Padilla. I'm picking Rongzhu. He's the right Zhu this time. I'm telling you. I feel like Rongzhu, he's got that experience of taking some L's early in his UFC career and then leaving, earning his way back through road to UFC. He's a little older now. He's nearly 25. I guess he's 24. I should say he's 24, bro. It was 2.5 years ago, though, that he fought Bajo Mendez. What was he, 21? He was 21 years old, fighting inside of the damn UFC. Yeah, you're going to take L's. Chris Padilla's tough, though. Now, I'm picking Rongzhu because I expect him to be able to stifle and survive the grappling of Chris Padilla. I think if Padilla gets him down, Rongzhu will find a way up. And Padilla doesn't have great top control. Now, he got the back of James Yontop last time and strangled him, but Yontop wasn't fighting the hands. Rongzhu doesn't make those mistakes. 25-5, the dude's got a fuckload of time in a cage. I know that he's young, but I think he can win. I think Padilla could land some takedowns. Rongzhu could land some big punches. Close fight. Not one I'm throwing down on. But I'm going to pick Rongzhu. I feel like decision. I feel like it's a competitive fight, but Rongzhu lands some bigger shots. And if Padilla isn't successfully wrestling, he's going to be a little bit frustrated. And Rongzhu will have some success throwing some hammers on the feet. So I'm going to pick Rongzhu to win. I think he finds a way to beat Chris Padilla, but the odds are way too wide for a fight that I view as more of a pick'ems matchup. There's Chris Padilla, Taco Padilla. He's got the elbow, bladed up. He's got the taco headband too. There's Rongzhu, UFC return fight. And then there's a good face-off between the two. Both guys are in shape. Chris Padilla's not an easy test. He's a tough customer. The odds should be closer. But I do think Rongzhu is going to have a striking advantage, and I feel like he's going to be able to fend off a good amount of the grappling and kind of force Padilla to over-wrestle a bit, and then Rongzhu will do some damage. So Rongzhu minus 250, Padilla at plus 210. Looking at Rongzhu by a decision, not doing this, plus 230. That's unanimous, actually. Wow. Plus 200. What's Padilla by a decision? Padilla decision plus 550. He wrestle fucks Rongzhu. I feel like Rongzhu's takedown defense will hold up, man. It's hard to say sometimes, though, because road to UFC, guys, they tend to be fighting in like a small pool of talent. So, yeah, they're 7-0, but they've kind of fought pretty mid-tier guys. And, like, the records will look okay, but the skill sets will be lower. Chris Padilla, we got to say, you know, I have respect for what he's done outside the UFC. He's fighting journeyman, but he's fucking scrapping. He beat Justin James. Justin James was complaining after that fight, too. Oh, it was behind the head shots. I don't know, man. They look to the side of the head. The Yontop win is big. I'm going with Rongzhu. I think he finds a way, but I wouldn't bet Rongzhu. Something about Taco Padilla is intimidating. Like, I don't know. I could see him getting this fight to the ground and him doing some damage and taking a decision. We shall find out. I'll call Rongzhu, though, because that's my original pick, and there's nothing crazy that happened at the weigh-ins that is going to make me jump ship. I feel like he's got the power. I feel like he's got the grappling defense. But Chris Padilla is a tough customer and definitely not an easy fight for Rongzhu. So at minus 250, stupid line. This should be an even money fight. Next fight, it brings us to our main card opener. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe it up. We got Trevor Peek versus Yanal Ashmouz. I absolutely love this fight. I'm picking Trevor Peek to outdog Yanal Ashmouz. I think that Trevor Peek is going to put a lot of pressure on Ashmouz, and Ashmouz is decent from the outside with nice kicks, but he is at a disadvantage of reach, so he can't box up Peek from range, really, and Peek is going to come at him with relentless pressure, and Peek will also be very willing to engage in the clinch positions, and I do feel as though Trevor Peek is going to be the deceptively stronger guy, and I also think that he has slightly superior wrestling skills to Yanal Ashmouz. So I'm going to predict that Trevor Peek, with a pressure style and a bit of chaotic, relentless pressure and kind of just insanity, pulls out a competitive decision win. I know Ashmouz has some good kicking skills, and I know he broke his arm last fight, but I think Trevor Peek is just built a little differently. And unless you have a grappling advantage on him, and unless you are one of the cleaner strikers in the weight class, I do believe Trevor Peek will have success walking a lot of mid-tier guys down. And I think he's going to have success doing just that with Yanal Ashmouz. So I'm going with Trevor Peek, Chattanooga, Tennessee's own. I'm repping USA for the W in this one. We got Yanal Ashmouz. He looks like a grand wizard. And then on the other side, we got Trevor Peek with the front double bicep. And then there's the face-off. Yeah, doesn't he look like somebody out of Harry Potter, yo? Yanal Ashmouz looks a little Lord of the Ringsy, something like that. Trevor Peek, he looks like a straight all-American biker, bro, coming to fuck some shit up. I'm going with Trevor Peek to take home a massive win and get it done in a gritty fight. Peek is minus 135. Ashmouz at plus 115. I'm going to be picking Trevor Peek to find a way. When there's a will, there's a way with Trevor Peek. Minus 155 for the over 2.5. And then Peek to win by a decision, plus 225. I'm going with Trevor Peek to find a way. When there's a will, there's a way. Trevor Peek, bro, he's peeking right through, okay? It's peak week, and I'm calling Trevor Peek. How can you fucking pick against this absolute all-American savage? Trevor Peek for the decision win. Next fight on the card, we have Matt Schnell versus Cody Durden. This is a short notice replacement bout. Cody Durden is stepping in to replace Alexandro Costa. Now, initially, this fight was a flyweight fight, or rather, Schnell's fight was a flyweight fight. But because of Durden stepping in on short notice, it's at 135. I'm going with Cody Durden. I think he can out-wrestle Matt Schnell. And I think he can keep a pretty steady pace on him. Now, I am a little bit worried at 135 because it just adds confusion to the mix. Schnell could have a better chin, so Durden, if he does land anything big, potentially it's bouncing right off of Schnell. He's sliding right with it. And then Schnell does have some submission skills, and Durden at times puts himself in bad spots on the ground. So I don't really think this is a bettable fight on the side of Cody Durden. I think you're kind of in a smarter spot if you're like, fuck it, I'm DJing betting the dog. I think Cody Durden can pressure wrestle. I think Cody Durden can box with him. If this was a full camp fight at 125, I'm probably picking Cody Durden a little bit more confidently. But here, I feel kind of at that 55-45 confident level. I won't lie to you. This to me is a worrisome call because he's stepping in on days' notice. And Matt Schnell is a gamer. Now, he might be washed, though, and the chin might be completely gone. And Cody Durden was looking good against Bruno Silva up until he wasn't, until he got caught and knocked out. Depends what Cody Durden shows up. There's some red flags around this fight for sure. All right, let's check it out. Cody Durden, he looks okay. He doesn't look in great shape here, but how would he? Taking this fight on a few days' notice. Matt Schnell looks fucking shredded and jacked, though. Bro, Matt Schnell looks incredible here. if Matt Schnell can stop these fucking takedowns, he might bust Cody Durden's head open, man. This is a worrisome pick now. This is a worrisome pick. I don't like how Durden looked on the scale. Matt Schnell has not beaten anybody good in a long time, though. I mean, he beat Suma Derji, but he's getting hurt in too many fights. Split over Tyson Nam. I can't, as a guy that breaks him down, as an analyst of the game, I don't think I can sit here and predict a Matt Schnell win. But what I will tell you is a Matt Schnell win is not going to be some shocking upset. I would say, okay, Cody Durden stepped in, short notice. He got beat by an experienced vet. Durden's minus 278. Schnell is plus 238. So that's really interesting. This fight is expected to end inside of the distance at minus 185. Schnell by submission, plus 675. All right, if Schnell has more than 5 sub wins, he's got 9 sub wins. All right, this is what I'm going to say. Schnell by submission is not crazy, especially in the plus 600 to plus 750 range. It's definitely possible that he locks something up on Durden who does something stupid. Durden was submitted 2 fights ago. Yeah, and he's taking the fight on real short notice. I don't know. If you're looking for a DGEM bet, Schnell by sub is your savage call. I ain't putting Cody Durden in no parlay, no money line. Fuck no, at 3-1. But in general, I think because he's taking this fight on such short notice, yeah, sure, he might go out and win. Oh, I should have put it in. Nah, I don't feel like that. I'd rather avoid the potential landmine. And if you want to throw something down on it, and maybe you're looking for a value call instead of a confidence call, which is not a terrible move here, and you DGEM bet Schnell or Schnell by submission, I don't think you're thinking crazy. So low confident Cody Durden pick. But remember, it's still a pick. I'm calling Cody Durden to win. That's what I'm expecting to happen. It just won't be a shock to the system if Schnell ends up catching him in something weird. That's the fight. Good matchup. I'm looking forward to it. Next fight on the card, our featured bout of the night, Kyle Nelson versus Steve Garcia. I'm excited as hell for this fight. I am picking the side of Steve Garcia to beat Kyle Nelson. I think Steve Garcia is mean as they come. That's why they call him the mean machine, and I think he's going to take a big win home. Now, note something. Kyle Nelson missed weight, 2.5 pounds over. What the hell is going on? Kyle Nelson missing weight. 2 guys on this card missing weight. Steve Garcia in a swanging and banging brawl has more power than Kyle Nelson. Now, Nelson did look pretty depleted at the damn weigh-ins. I might as well just bring it up right now so we can kind of analyze the physique and the health of the weight cut. Steve Garcia had a healthy cut. He looked in great shape. He did everything right. Kyle Nelson, he didn't look awful on the scale, but you can see in his eyes he's definitely feeling the weight cut. I will say, with fighters who have, the giant beards like that, like fucking lumberjacks, it's kind of hard to see how much of an effect that weight cut fully has because you can't really see the full cheek, right? You can see just a tad of sunken in face for Kyle Nelson. You can see it there. I mean, if you shave off the beard, how sucked in is his face? We don't really know. But I'm feeling like it might be something like that because the beard hides a lot. Was this a strategic weight miss? Then I start to think, I don't know. Weird to see Steve Garcia miss like this. Excuse me, weird to see Kyle Nelson miss weight like this. Let's see. Did he miss weight ever before? I have to find this out. No. First weight miss of his entire UFC career. That's so strange to me. I don't know what happened. Kyle Nelson's a guy that's always on point. He had more time to prepare. Steve is taking this fight on short notice. Unless it was calculated, but I don't think he's that type of fighter. I feel like Steve Garcia's got the punching power. I think he can find that chin of Kyle Nelson, and I think he can end up putting him down and out. So I'm going to stick with Steve Garcia by knockout as the official pick. Kyle Nelson's a fun guy to watch. He's on a nice roll right now. He beat Bill Algeo in a nice upset, but to be fair, that fight was an early-ass stoppage. Even though I think he would have got him, it was still an early stoppage. Kyle Nelson's plus 155 is the underdog. Steve Garcia is minus 180 as the favorite. I'm going for Steve Garcia. I'm saying he gets a finish. Under 2.5, minus 435. I think it is possible for sure. I don't know. I know it's chalky as shit, but it's worth saying because I think it's going to happen. And then Steve Garcia by knockout, you're not getting much on it, minus 140. But I am going to predict that Steve Garcia finds Kyle Nelson's chin. Nelson can engage a little bit in brawls, and I feel like Steve could lay him clean. And I know Steve got dropped by lesser opposition like Shailan, but he also came back and beat the shit out of him. Knockout of Sungwoo Choi last time. Garcia's been very accurate as of late. The dude starts lightning fast, and he's doing a fuckload of damage. So I'm going with Steve Garcia to sleep Kyle Nelson, and I really think that the Mean Machine train keeps rolling on. I don't know. Mean Machine versus maybe like a Dan Ige could be a crazy fight. If Kyle Nelson wins this, because Kyle Nelson said something about, oh, Calvin Kattar's next after this fight. He's already looking past Steve Garcia. You don't look past Steve Garcia. You don't look past a power puncher like him. And maybe Kyle Nelson didn't put 100% into the camp, and maybe that's why he missed weight. Maybe he's overlooking Steve Garcia. And I'm telling you this, Steve Garcia is going to make him fucking pay. Steve Garcia by KO. Let's keep running. Let's jump to our co-main event of the evening. We got Jessica Andrade versus Natália Silva. I've been picking Natália Silva to win. I think she can beat Andrade here. Striking from range. Slick, precise, angle cutting, footwork specialist. Like, I don't know. A lot of things about Natália Silva's stand-up I like. In the fact that Andrade is going to have to chase her for a lot of the fight. Natália Silva playing that matador to Andrade the Bull. But she does a good job of keeping distance, touching with jabs, throwing nice kicks, moving from the outside. I think Andrade is going to get caught up swinging a lot. She doesn't really bring a jab. She's normally a hook-based pressure fighter. And that's not going to be an easy style to work on somebody as quick and skillful as Natália Silva is in the stand-up. And also note that Natália Silva is a surging prospect right now. She's on a roll. She is coming off that Aruja win last time where she got a decision, so it wasn't like the most impressive win of all time, but she did show she can fight well off the back foot, land good shots, avoid dominance in the clinch, right, and still be active in those positions and fight her way out of those positions. I expect Andrade to look and try to make this a bit of a clinch fest because she's going to be frustrated striking from range and try to land elbows and shots over the top on the inside. Won't be shocked if Andrade looks to wrestle. I don't think she'll be successful in doing so. I'm going with Natália Silva to win. The official pick is decision, though. I think Natália will be relatively calculated here. Now, as far as the scales, Natália Silva looked in good shape, looked ready to go. There's really nothing special there. Andrade looking like she normally does, still looking like a savage. Andrade's got the heart of a lion still. There's the face-off. Battle of Brazil. I got to go with the new blood, especially like Andrade last time was really close with Marina Rodriguez, and that was down a weight class, getting touched with shots from the outside. So now Natália Silva, the bigger girl, surging prospect, young, in her prime, seeming like she's got something special to offer the game. To me, it just makes a lot of sense. Natália Silva by a unanimous decision. I think she's probably live to 29-28, Jessica Andrade. Now, as far as the odds, Silva's a 3-1 favorite, so really wide minus 300 tag for her. Andrade at plus 250 as the underdog. Now, looking at Silva, do you go decision? What's an inside distance for Silva? Plus 180? I mean, it's possible, but I don't know, man. I know Andrade was on that bad losing streak, but she's looked better since then. Silva win by decision, plus 110. Over is minus 175. Here's my only worry with the over. And later in the week, this hit me. Earlier in the week, I was feeling the over. But you know what? One thing I was thinking. I was like, Jessica Andrade getting caught a lot from the outside. Her getting frustrated and saying, fuck it. Swinging wild and then getting counter shot KO'd. We saw it when she fought against Yan Xiaonan and she got laid the fuck out. Same kind of thing could happen here. Even though I know the size difference and whatnot. Yan Xiaonan, though, I don't know. I feel like she's a little bit more of a precise power puncher than Natália Silva is. I feel like Silva, more of a kicking specialist who has okay boxing to go along with it, but not a power puncher. But I am picking Natália Silva, and the official pick is Silva to get it done on the judges' scorecards. We're going with Natália to take it home. let's jump to our main event of the evening. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the hell out of the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We got Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. I'm going with Sean Brady. I think it's his time now. That's what we're looking at in this fight, is a passing of the torch. Gilbert Burns has done great things in the UFC welterweight division. He fought for the belt. He gave Khamzat Chimaev a nightmare fight. He beat Wonderboy. He went distance with Bilal. But I do think it's time for, the new blood to take his place. I think this is just kind of a cycle of an MMA fighter's career. And Sean Brady is surging right now. Everybody said he got fraud checked because Bilal beat him. Okay, the world champ beats him. Especially now, it's been a long time since then, almost 2 years ago. And we write him off. Sean Brady has definitely improved since that point. Now, regardless of Kelvin Gastelum being a, burrito-eating, competitive food eater instead of a fucking full-time fighter, the way Sean Brady made Kelvin Gastelum look like he never grappled a day in his fucking life was magnificent. He bodied Kelvin Gastelum, who's a good grappler, a good wrestler, a good jiu-jitsu practitioner. And Sean Brady made him look like a kid. He bodied him. Level difference. I think Sean Brady is better wrestling than Gilbert Burns, and I do think he can be effective from top position, garnering control time, even with Gilbert Burns. I do not feel as though Sean Brady will fear the ground game with Burns. If they were in the gi, I said this throughout the whole week, I think favor Burns by submission in a gi grappling match. But in no gi MMA, right? They ain't got no gis on. When you're fighting MMA grappling, I feel like Sean Brady's got him. I don't think Burns is subbing Brady up. I think that Brady also has okay striking. I don't think he's horrible on the feet. I think he could land some shots on Burns. I know Burns is known for the big power, the massive overhands, but Brady's kind of clean down the center. And I understand the Bilal fight is everybody's shit taste in the mouth. It was an early stoppage, first thing. And yes, Brady was getting touched up, but it was nearly 2 years ago. And I still think Sean Brady is a talented prospect to keep an eye on. Now Sean Brady, I believe, has really entered his prime, and I expect this fight here to be his breakout performance. I'm picking Sean Brady to win a decision over Gilbert Burns. Now, we got to check out the scales, though. This is the weigh-in show. We got to see what they're looking like on the scales. Does anything change? Sean Brady looks in great shape, looks jacked, good muscle tone to him, and he seems to be growing up. I can tell that he's in his 30s now. This is not 29-year-old Sean Brady anymore. This is grown man Sean Brady. And I think he's going to look better. Gilbert Burns looks kind of soft, no? Gilbert Burns' biceps look kind of smaller than normal. He looks a little fatter than usual. Tell me you're not seeing it. Does Gilbert Burns not look 38 now? The age is hitting him. Sean Brady's going to get him, bro. But damn, bro, Sean Brady looks scary. Sean Brady might strangle him. Can you imagine Sean Brady finishes him? I'm picking Sean Brady, guys. And the confidence in Sean Brady has grown throughout the week. I think Sean Brady's good. I'm not too keen on Gilbert Burns right now, especially after the weigh-in, seeing that I don't think he looked in as good of shape as he's looked consistently in the past. And I think that age is a real thing, okay? Fighters age. They reach a point where they don't perform the same. And especially Burns coming off a knockout loss to Jack Della. This could all be part of the downfall. And I think Sean Brady is getting it done. So Sean Brady to beat Gilbert Burns is the official pick. Picking a finish against Burns is hard for me, especially because Brady doesn't have heavy hands like that. I expect more grappling control. But if he submits Gilbert Burns, the world's going crazy. Minus 175 for Brady. Burns at plus 158. I'm going with Sean Brady to take it home. I see him beating Gilbert Burns. I see him taking him into the later stage. I mean, I will say decision is the official pick, and I can see Brady showcasing some good gas tank and potentially some well-timed takedowns in this fight. I'm excited for this matchup. If somehow Brady gets a quick sub, that'd be crazy, though. What's Brady by sub? Plus 800 to plus 1,000? That'd be insane. Brady decision plus 150. I am going to pick Sean Brady to win a decision. Burns will have some moments, but I do think ultimately Sean Brady will have a physicality advantage, physical strength edge, a little bit of the top grappling advantage, and a takedown edge too to go alongside all of it. And even though Burns has the punch and power edge, he doesn't have great setups, right? Like, he's not going to be working a slick jab and then throwing some feints at you and then hitting that overhand. He's going to be winging a fucking bomb. Sure, could it land? It's Gilbert Burns, of course. But I don't think it is going to. So, Sean Brady for the win in the main event of UFC Vegas 97. Those are my full card predictions, but I'm not done yet. I got to talk about some post-weigh-in parlays. How are things feeling after seeing the fighters on the scales? Because it is important. Because things can change after you see the fighters on the scales. I'm still confident in Gabriel Santos, and I'm still confident in Petroski. Bro, I got minus 113. I'm taking that to the fucking bank, to be honest with you. What else do I really need to do? If I want to add more, sure. You want to go an over in the Lima fight? All right, plus 164. Not a terrible idea. If you like Lima to win, plus 205, you look pretty good on the scale. If you're looking to force plus money, there's ways you can do it. Now, you're going, schmucky because you're throwing a chalky women's fight, plus 153 for Amorim, but I think these three do win, and I don't care if it's chalky or not. I do think it's live to hit. As far as... some of the other bets, like, I don't want to throw Durden. Do you throw peak? If you're looking to throw peak, it's because you're looking for value, right? But when I'm doing these 2-3-piece parlays, I'm more so looking for confidence. I don't know if I can even find Steve Garcia. Where the hell is Steve Garcia at? Let's see. There's Steve Garcia. So Steve Garcia, Gabriel Santos, André Petroski, and Amorim, plus 289. Seems like Danger Zone USA, though. I don't know. Plus 419. The only worry I really have with this Steve Garcia fight, let me just tell you honestly, is simply because Nelson missed that weight, does he take a better punch and land something crazy? I want to do something degenerate, though. What if you went match Schnell? You said, fuck it, I'm going Schnell. You go Santos, and then you go Petroski, plus 561. I'm not picking match Schnell. But as a D-Gem bet, I mean, it would be pretty badass if somehow we pulled through. You go the over in this fight, plus 1,000. What's the over in the ladies fight, though? Not this ladies fight, actually. I should just throw Amorim in the lineup. Plus 785. But Natália Silva, where's she at? Do we go over here? Bum, 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 bum. I feel like chaotic in this fucking parlay section because I just don't love putting too many legs on these damn parlays this week. I feel like, you might have to risk some over-unders. Like, that's kind of an unfortunate truth, man. You're going to have to take some ballsy chances. So, Santos, Petroski, and then what? If you're like, all right, Dulgarian's getting his hand raised, you go under 1.5, plus 143. Padilla, Rongzhu, over around 1.5, plus 273. André Lima, plus 500. Or maybe you're going just a Lima over, plus 422. Amorim should take it home. If you want to chase degeneracy, throw a fucking savage underdog like Schnell in. But, he's taking on a dangerous customer in Cody Durden. It's just because Durden's stepping in on short notice that I feel like a waning confidence in him, especially looking how shitty he looked at 135 on the scale. Overall, bet your parlays intelligently. I did the full parlay section Wednesday, and you guys can definitely check those out on this week's Best MMA Bets. Just go tune into that. Post-weigh-in, it's not like much has necessarily changed substantially. I just feel like you're looking for definite hitters. Like a 2 to 3 leg is better than chasing a big plus 2,000 5 leg. That is UFC Vegas 97. This was the weigh-in recap show. I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of it. Make sure you smash the likes, and if you're new, subscribe it up. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let me know what you thought of the picks in the comments, and if you got nothing to say, just drop a W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. I appreciate you all so much, and I'll see each and every one of you for the Fight Companion. Can't wait for it. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.